Hello everyone, welcome to 20 signs from your celestial guides. Have you ever wondered why you're not seeing signs, or you're asking questions, you're asking for validation and you're not getting them? It's probably because you don't know all the different signs they can give you and explore within this exciting communication from your guides or even loved ones that have passed over. The first one is feathers. Feathers are usually found in unexpected places and a gentle sign of presence. You could have a little one just suddenly fall out of the sky from nowhere. Mine have been mainly transitional feathers, which are white and grey. And the one time that really stood out to me is when I was walking my dog on the field over the road. It was when I had my golden retriever Boyd. And you know, when you walk in the long grass over the winter, it treads down. So I always followed the same path. And there was no feathers on this path as I walked down the field. And then when I walked back up, there was two grey feathers laid one in front of each other. They always sort of point away from me. And it was always a sign for my guides that this is the transitional stage I'm in, because I probably, most times when I'm out walking, I chat with my guides or have a question. So they're very good signs for you. Coins are another sign. They can manifest small coins like 5p's, pennies quite easily. And the thing with coins is they will appear at your feet, somewhere on a counter, somewhere where you least expect them. The one thing which is a little bit of tip with coins is always check the date on them. See if the date corresponds with someone in spirit or a validation of your past, or some date that stands out to you. It will be validation for you. Rainbows are amazing signs. They're signs of hope, alignment and higher connection. I remember when I moved over from Bristol to Wales and I was still travelling back to a group I sat in, which I'd sat in for a few years, a development group, and which I loved, but I was starting my own adventure over here and I knew I'd be teaching trance and everything. And as I drove back over to Bristol one day, I said to my guys, am I going to keep doing this twice a week? Am I doing the right thing to keep going back? Because sometimes it's better to leave things and move on. And a massive rainbow appeared and it was just like, wow, okay, I got that message. And rainbows I found have been used a lot. Cloud formations is another one. So this is number 4. Shapes or patterns in the sky. So I've seen like the shape of one of my dogs. I sometimes seen the shape of an elephant, which I love. And it's almost like just sit there gazing. It's like a meditative state. You can just watch the clouds on a summer's day is probably the best. And they can manipulate them to give you a sign. Sounds is another one, number 5. It can be subtle tones around you, ringing in your ears, unexplained noises catching your attention around you. And that's very common. It's quite a physical presence if that's happening around you. Nothing to be scared of. It's just them tuning into the energy to say to you, we are here, we have listened to you. And if it's something you don't like, they can give you another sign. Following on from sounds is music. Music is used so much, meaningful songs, lyrics appearing at the right moment. I haven't really had that much actually myself. I've had I've had all the rest, and I've had the sounds and ringing, but music, lyrics. But I've heard lots of other people saying when somebody's passed away, they've suddenly heard on the radio the song from the funeral or their favourite song come on, or there's some clarification somewhere around music. Another one, number 7, is touch or sensations. A light brush on your face, a warmth on your skin, or a tingling feeling. Sometimes you can even feel like you've just walked through a cobweb or something. That's another sign. That's another sign that our guides are very close to us. And it's almost they can give you a hug of love and you can get that tingling feeling, or that feeling of compassion from somewhere, and you don't really understand where it's coming from. Another sign which is really strong, and I've had a lot of this through my journey of life, is numbers and patterns. And What I find is key is to get yourself what normally called angel number books. Get one that you're drawn to and just use the one reference. Don't keep jumping around on the internet for different meanings. And say to your guides, use number sequence for me as answers. And then if you see a sequence being repeated like 111 or 11.11, 11, things like that, look it up in your number book. And because your guides will get to know your book and know which message is needed for you. So that's why you don't jump around to different methods. So that's a good tip. And another one when I moved over here and I was setting up a church, a spiritual church, I didn't know if I was doing the right thing, but I was being driven to do it. So I was questioning, my ego was questioning it. And again, I was driving over the bridge back to Wales from my group, and I saw a car with 66, and then I saw another car with 66, and then I saw another car with 66, and this voice said, "This is your number from us." And I said, "Oh, can you bring another car then?" And they said, "No, don't push your luck," basically. And I now know that when I see the number 66, it appears when I'm questioning or not sure, and it's a sign to say everything's okay. The day I went to open up the spiritual church, my first one, I knew the cars parked around me. We all park at the back of our houses, and next door's cars, one of them was replaced with another car, must have been a visitor. And as I came out, the number was 66, and it was almost like that was my confirmation before I went up there. And yes, it was. It proved to be a lovely church that ran up to when COVID came. Dreams. Oh, dreams are an amazing way for our guides and loved ones to give messages or give us guidance or comfort. So, you know, if you are a person that dreams a lot and they are coming in that way, have a little notebook at the side of the bed, so when you wake up you can write down anything you got or any dream that you're questioning, write it down and ask for verification of it. One of I'm trying to remember which one should I give. Right, when I lived over in Bristol, a good neighbour of ours, friend, died sadly from cancer, left his wife and children and stepchildren. And he came to me a couple of weeks after his death in a dream. He was sitting at a table. He looked really, really well, suntanned, like the guy I knew when he was well. And he was sitting at a table, and it was like he was outside, there was bright light. And I said to him, "Well, what are you doing here?" And he put down a card on the table, and I couldn't see anything on the card. And I said, what is this a message? And he looked at me, and then on the card appeared, "Tell his wife that he loves her." So I thought, oh wow, he wants me to give her this message. So I waited a couple of weeks because I was a bit unsure how she'd take it. She came round one night for a couple of drinks and a chat. And I told her, and I shouldn't have been fearful because she really appreciated that he'd come and said that. It meant a lot to her. So dreams, are very healing. If you do get a dream message, try and pass it on if you can. A strong number 10 now already, strong inner knowing, a deep sense of guidance, peace or reassurance within, intuition from the soul plan. So again, you've asked for guidance, you've asked for signs. Is this the right thing? They can guide you through your soul plan, and there's knowing inside, or peace or reassurance that it's right, like a calm energy can come over you. So start to learn and trust your intuition. And where should we go now? Number 11, sudden thoughts or insights. So this is a bit like the tipping point of the knowing of the previous one. Ideas that feel wise, calm, and not from your usual thinking pot. So if you suddenly get the indication to do something, or the drive to do something, or get a new idea, and this could be an answer to something that you've asked about or inquired about, or something that's coming up in your life that you need to know about. Because signs don't always come from you asking. Signs can come in other ways to try to push you along in the right direction. So remember that, to look out for those. Sense and smell. So sensing and smelling. Sensing is when you can sense you're not alone in a room. You might meditate and sense of someone with you. You might be sitting watching television and sense of someone around you. That would be your guides and loved ones trying to let you know they're there, probably trying to give you a sign. Smell is the other one. With this is obviously one of your senses. It can be like a strong perfume they used to wear, favourite flower, aftershave. When my dad passed, my dad used to sometimes smell a little bit BOE with a aftershave smell on top of it. And after he passed, I used to get that smell around me, and I used to laugh because I say to him, "I know you're there. Can you change the smell so it's a bit more pleasant, please?" And actually, it stopped in the end, and we would just have a chat and stuff. So it's you have to laugh sometimes. But this is a very strong method of them giving you a sign, especially of a loved one around you that wants to connect. If you don't know how to connect and you feel somebody's trying to get you a message, take yourself off to a really renowned medium, like work a channeler, and see if a message will come through for you. Or go to a church, spiritual church, or a mind spiritual fair where you've got lots of readers there, and go to who you're drawn to. So temperature changes, that happens a lot. So just as I've said that, I've gone cold around my body. So they're just letting me know they're there. Well, I know they're there anyway, but they just brought the temperature down in front of me. Sometimes it can be just one bit of you, like your legs. So it's the lower half of me at the moment that's just gone cold. I'm actually asking them to warm me up now because I don't like that. The other thing is you can go hot. You can go the other way. You can feel like you're boiling or really warm on one side. That's very common. Again, that's like your senses. Your skin is a sense. You know, it's very tactile to this world we're in, and energy, and very linked. So pay attention to those. And the other one, going down to number 14 now. I can feel them tickling my face now. A gentle pull or nudge. If you feel guided to go somewhere or do something, and this is probably a bit similar to the one that was earlier, like a knowing, and you make a decision not really knowing why, but somewhere linked in here and out here you can feel that you need to go there that day, you need to take that path or do that, then follow it, follow that nudge, because it'd be a nudge from your guides. The other sign around you can be from animals, of pets that you own. So they suddenly start behaving unusually. So if a dog suddenly, or a cat suddenly stares into the corner of a room, wags its tail, acts happy, starts purring, and it's responding to an energy, it could either be a guide or a loved one it's known in life. Your pets are very, very sensitive, and take note of any reaction they have. Don't be spooked by it, because they can see things we can't see. They're very open. They've got really highly sensitive hearing and things like this, and their sight is different as well. So just watch out for that if you've been asking for a sign. Number 16 is synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences feel aligned to, and you can't ignore. And you'd be surprised how very common they are. So get a grasp of synchronicities and what they mean and what they could mean to you, and keep that in the back of your head if you've been asking for a sign. Words or repeating messages. Now that is a very common one again, because obviously language, what we have in our head, and our guides can use that. So if you keep seeing the same phrase multiple times, start paying attention, stop and think, okay, make a note of that. What does this mean? What have I been asking lately? Or are they trying to give me a new sign to try and help me? When I was given the quantum trance healing, QTH, and they started to channel me about that, and I had to start writing about it and start learning how to practice it with my guides, because they were teaching me all about it, I was questioning it. And one day I looked out of my office downstairs, and there was a van over the road, and it had the word quantum on the sign. For about 5 days this van would come. I must have been doing some work at the house. And I knew that was my sign, not to worry about it and just go with it, because I was so used to recognizing new signs and looking for them and accepting them. So that's, yeah, look out for your word signs. They're quite exciting. Number 18, lights flickering or electrical sensitivity. Now, some people would say that's a bit spooky, isn't it? But it's not really. You know, the energy of your loved ones is in the room. They've come to see you, or your guides. You're not seeing the signs. So how will you really see a sign? Get the light bulbs flickering. Then you'll really take notice of that, won't you? Then you'll go, okay, I'll acknowledge that. What's you trying to show me? And then you start to think, well, I've watched this video. There's 20 ways they could be showing me. Well, let me stop and see what I've had around me the last 2 days, what signs, or they might realise you just stopped to open up to a new sign. So you've got to sort of start looking at it a bit like that. If you're going through a stressed period, as number 19, and you suddenly feel guided and calm, and you feel things have calmed down, that's a sign from your guides of trying to adjust and balance your energy, and allow them to do this. Try and sit in the moment, try and sit in some peace somewhere, and just say to your guides, yes, please come and help me. And it could be you've been ill or something, and that's their sign of working with you. So it's really sort of trying to tune into your senses a little bit more here. And it's very key on number 19 to know how your body feels when you're healthy and well. And then you learn how your body is. So if you are off colour, you can learn to sense when someone's giving you healing, and really becoming attuned to yourself and that ethereal healing energy of your guides. So number 20 is inner guidance, becoming clearer, a growing trust in your intuition and decisions, ideas that feel wise, calm, and not from the usual thinking pot. So do you remember I said you can have signs like feathers and coins, which are physical in front of you, but you have an empathic and knowing, which is part of who you are. So once you can tune into that, your signs can come from the inner soul plan and from the higher self. And the higher self is like your premium guide. And just trusting that inner knowing, that guidance that comes within. Once you've really got that going, you probably don't need the signs from your guides, because it's all in you, it's all here. It's all here waiting for you to tune into. Now, I would say to you, you listen to this and it's probably hard to recall it all. You probably want to keep repeating it to remind yourself. I've got a book called The Spiritual Handbook, and in there is all of the signs from the guides, but a more extensive version on each one. And so you can have it on the shelf and just pick it up and just flick through it and be guided when you need it. And that's on Amazon, and I will put it on the link at the end of this for you. So I just want you to think about these signs. So we had feathers, coins, rainbows, cloud formations, sounds, music, touch of sensations, repeating numbers, dreams, strong inner knowing, sudden thoughts or insights, senses and smell, temperature changes, a gentle pull or nudge, animal appearing or behaving unusually, synchronicity, words or messages repeated, lights flickering or electrical sensitivity, a sense of calm during stress, inner guidance becoming clearer. These experiences are subtle and personal to you, and whatever happens, feel is a sense of connection they bring. They bring you closer to your guides, and this is a university of earth. This is a learning path. So once you start to understand the signs your guides or loved ones can give you for an understanding, and there might be, all those I've said, there might be one that really attunes to you. Like you could be a number person and numbers, or it could be a really musical. Music would be the one they'd use. It doesn't have to be all of them. It can be just one of them. And you can actually say to your guides, can you refine the sign to this one? This feels right to me. And ask them to work with you that way. But remember, signs come not always from what you've asked. Signs will come because it's something they're nudging you to remember in your soul plan, or, you know, so becoming present and understanding all the signs you can receive will just help you on a day-to-day basis with your life on earth in general. You don't have to be a spiritually developing medium, holistic healer, or transcommunicator, or whatever else. These signs can help you with your everyday life, and you've all got guides. Why not use them? Why not ask them for this guidance? It's amazing. So I'll leave that with you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, because I'm doing more and more of these. There's so many different subjects I can do them on. You don't want to miss out. And I'll see you again on the next one. Bye.